For everything, there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Tough times, they say, never last, but tough people do. We learn from every stage in life. It is your season.
Whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. Work at it with all your heart and don't do it for any human being. This is from Colossians 3:23. Welcome to another episode of Seasons Table Talk. My name is Akudo. Here we speak on faith, we speak on family, and we speak on the ideal social life of a Christian. We lay emphasis on the different stages experienced by a typical Christian to emerge as a successful personality on earth. On today's topic, we have it titled The Marketplace Apostle. And we are going to be looking at it after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. A workplace is actually a place where you find different people of different lifestyles, different cultures, different beliefs, different ethnic groups. Here sometimes you find this variance in personality play out, and sometimes we disagree to agree on certain things. So now this is really important. Why is it important? This is because when you declare yourself to be a Christian in a workplace environment, in a professional environment, you seem to face different kinds of challenges. Much is actually expected. So we have someone who is going to help us analyze today's topic. He is an accountant by profession. He is a father. He is a husband. He is someone I call a friend, and trust me, he's a world-class team coach. His name is Mr. Christopher Odezi. You're welcome to today's show.
Thank you very much.
It's really good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, I'm just going to make this a bit snappy. And I have my first question here, and it says, first of all, let me just find this out from you. Tell us a little bit of that situation in your career that stretched you or stretched your Christian faith beyond what you think you could handle at that time.
Well, I think I'll just make an example of a recent one I had about 2 years ago. By the grace of God, I'm the group managing director of the company where I work, and we're into security. And so I have the responsibility of leadership, and I also have authority with it, because they are two different things. So in my own case now, I would say the fact that I'm leading and I have authority will give me some kind of, give me an edge. So for example, 2 years ago, we were bidding for a job, and halfway towards the project, the guys wanted us to just get paid for doing nothing, and we're going to split the money, a lot of money, over $500,000.
This is your team now?
Yes.
Wow.
We're working with another organization, and the people on that side wanted us to just come in, do some paperwork, sign off money, and just walk away with it. About $500,000. And when my team came and they were explaining, I was like, this doesn't tally with our value system.
Exactly.
And everybody went quiet, my team now. Sir, we need to, this is money here. I said, I know, but we have a core value system. This does not tally. And I said, okay, you know what? You guys go back and think about this. Think about it in line with our core value system. Then come back and tell me what you think we should do.
Okay.
So my team came back and said, well, sir, we need the money, but we need to also follow our core value system.
Exactly.
So they went back, told those other guys, and when they told those guys, the first reaction those guys said was, what's wrong with your DMD? Is he the pastor of the country? Everybody does this. What's his own problem?
Imagine that exactly.
No, it's not about pastor or title or anything. It's about your value system. So it was a tough one for me because that's good money, but we had to let it go, and sometimes these things happen. It all comes down to you as an individual, what you stand for.
Exactly.
Because the truth is, most of us always aspire to own our own businesses, right?
Yeah.
And someone has that business. It's someone's company,
Yeah.
all right? So if you decide to own your own business, or you work yourself to a point where you need to own your own business, would you really want someone to run that? That's also coming from the conscience aspect of running this business, of being a Christian in the workplace. So that's the way I also look at this, what you've said. Now, the other thing I need you to throw an insight on is, while carrying out your job as a Christian, some staff run foul of the company's policy and are penalized beyond your expectation, because probably that's not what you wanted. That's not how far you wanted it to get to. Now, how best would you handle such situation? Probably considering the fact that you raised the eyebrow to that case.
Well, once again, I'll be coming from my perspective of someone in leadership and authority. So in my organization, one of the key office holder that I work closely with regularly is the head of human resources. And I expect a lot of professionalism. Exactly. I expect a lot of direction with regards to policy when it comes to human relations, and also the policy of the company on steps to take, punitive measures to take for defaulters. Yeah. So if a staff is not pulling his or her weight, and I flag it up, and that staff is punished, so long as it was done in line with the company's policy, laid down policy that was communicated clearly, it should exempt me from any kind of guilty feeling. Because the truth is, you will not please everybody the same time. Okay. The main thing is, did you do the right thing at that moment? That's the question you should answer, and so that it's not like you're running on sentiment. Policies should be designed. Let the HR design the policy according to industry standard, and you follow it. Exactly. So when you allow sentiment in, that's where you can get into trouble.
Yes, because they said laws are made for man, right?
Yes.
Yes, and if we go through this route, through the HR policies, definitely this should exempt you because you didn't lay the policies.
True, and it has nothing to do with religion.
Nothing to do with religion.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. So policy is policy.
Yeah.
At the onboarding process, when you're being onboarded into the system, I believe you should have been handed over the staff handbook, right?
Yes.
The employee policy. Yeah. So you should have read it, and that should be your guide. Yeah. So you're not supposed to accuse anyone just because you feel this person is upright or claim to be upright and had to point something out. You now think that person is the cause of your own problem. Right. So let's go to the next question. But I think before I do that, let's take a quick break. Welcome back from that short break. All right, Mr. Chris, this question I have to ask, it has to do with sexual harassment, and I know you deal with a lot of teenagers, so I'm bringing this question into the workplace right now. So how would you handle a situation, okay, where a boss or someone in a superior authority in a workplace environment is taking advantage of a staff sexually with a sack threat? What is the appropriate step to take as a Christian, especially if you're privy to this issue?
Well, once again, I would say it all depends on, for example, the hierarchy between myself and the other person that is taking advantage of the junior staff. So let's assume both of us are on the same level and we have a good rapport. We talk. So I would approach on two fronts.
Okay.
First is an informal approach, where I would try to reach out to that person and try to speak to the person, because I think there's a case making route now with one of the banks, something similar to that.
Yeah.
So if I have a connection with that person, I'll meet with the person on an informal setting, let it go. But if we don't have that kind of rapport, I would make sure that once again it comes down to the table of the HR manager.
Exactly.
Just follow what is on the table. I mean, I had an incident like that in my organization, but mine wasn't really on sexual harassment. Somebody accused one of my HOD of tribalism, that he selects staff who are from certain regions to go on certain projects where they will make more money. And when I heard that in my system, I wasn't very happy about it. So I said, before I would take any decision, I want us to carry out a thorough investigation. So I called the guy that was accused. I said, someone has raised this accusation against you. This is what we're going to do. Go home for 2 weeks. We'll pay you for that 2 weeks. We'll pay you for the 2 weeks. Go away. Let's protect you. Then I called another team, investigate this, and give me the feedback. At the end of 2 weeks, the investigation and all that revealed that other guy was just accusing this guy, trying to get him in trouble.
Oh, really?
So at the end of the day, yes, that was what he revealed. And when we got to the end, I'm like, you said this, actually I just wanted to get him into trouble. So sometimes when people raise the issue of sexual harassment at workplace and all that, it's a two-way thing. It could be true, it could be false.
Exactly.
So you want to first of all isolate the facts from reality. And when you narrow down and see that it's true, like I said earlier on, depending on the level of the senior person, I'll engage him informally if we have a rapport. If we don't, I will ensure that the HR manager is following everything according to the book. So at the end of the day, we don't try to use too wrong to get it right, which is not correct.
Yeah, especially when the person, when the other person has an ulterior motive, because sometimes ladies seem to have ulterior motive. Because I've had a boss that was accused for not doing anything, just like that. Now, the last question I'm going to take before I just dive into a bit of your personality is, how would you handle a situation where you're caught in between exposing a staff misconduct based on your faith and concealing his crime to avoid him being fired based on his family condition?
Well, it's the thing is, there's a price you pay for leadership, and to answer that question, one of the main things I would just say is it's important for us as Christians, in any environment you are in, you need to be quick in letting people know your values. Because I remember back then when we were in primary school, secondary school, and university, during exams, when others are cheating, nobody says anything. But when you, the guy who says you go to fellowship, you are in scripture union, the moment you try to do anything, the guy cheating starts screaming, pastor, so people know. And if you have a colleague that is doing wrong, and you are in the room, and the colleague continues doing wrong, that means the colleague does not believe that you believe what you claim you are.
Exactly.
So that's why, and when I say people should know your values, it's not that you write it on your forehead, even though the Bible did say that, but it's how you communicate. So for example, 3 of your colleagues are sitting together at the coffee table at the restaurant, and they are discussing infidelity. You are a married man, you're a young married man, they are discussing infidelity, you are passing by, then I ask for your opinion, and you just laugh and laugh it off.
Exactly.
You've communicated to them that you are indecisive.
Exactly.
You don't have a stand.
True,
so it depends on you. If you put that out there, people will respect it. So by the time somebody has done wrong and he knows you are aware, he knows your next move. So he might just go and report himself ahead, because he knows that under this man's watch, he's a principled person, he will not take it.
Exactly.
So they go ahead and say, I've made a mistake, what's my punishment?
Wow, thank you very much. You agree with me that this has been very insightful and it's been very, very informative. But because of time, we'll not be able to take a lot of peep into Mr. Christopher's life. But I'm just going to ask only one question, and that would just be that. Now, just in a brief sentence, what was that most embarrassing moment in your life?
Most embarrassing moment in my life was when I was far back then, when I was in primary school. I was the class prefect, and they gave me the responsibility of keeping the class contribution. One of those days, the teacher came and said I should give account. I gave account, and I'd spent some of the money. So he brought me out of the class and spanked me. And after he finished spanking me, he still appointed me again as the one in charge of keeping the money. And that was when, since that time till now, I've been keeping people's money. Yeah, so.
This is really interesting. You know why this is very good for me? Because the teachers we used to have then, the typical teachers we used to have, they would have just condemned you as a child. But he understood, or she understood, that you're still in the process of growth. You're still learning. So he was teaching you to learn how to be responsible for what does not belong to you. And trust you with responsibility. And that is what came out of you at the end of the day. You're someone people can realize, I can actually count on him. Anytime, any day. Thank you for watching our program. Today we're talking about the marketplace apostle. It's been an issue, okay, that has been bothering me, especially when you claim that you are a Christian in a workplace. People think you're not human, you're already a spirit, you're a supernatural being that can't even make mistake. No, the truth is, we are all in the journey of perfection to life. It is not what we have done or what we are claiming to be that makes us the Christian that we are. No, it is that blood. It is accepting that Christ has died for you, and he is the one that has paid the ultimate price on your head. As long as you profess that, you are good to go. We are all imperfect human beings serving a perfect God. Until next time, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles displayed on the screen. We are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram, and we are on Facebook. And also, don't also forget to keep your eyes glued to TSTV channel 102. My name is Akudo. Do have a God-blessed day. Bye.